What's going on, guys? How are you? What's up, Tay? What's up, Geek Easy? Oh my God, Geek Easy, I can't believe you made it to an actual all signs. What's going on, guys? It's nice to see you. Welcome to All Signs. I did not shuffle beforehand, so I'm just kind of getting my stuff together. What's going on, Dominic? Really nice to see you as well. All right. Pulling out the favorites today. What's up, Spiritual Awakening? Hi. Why not? I don't think I've ever seen you on an All Signs. It's usually just where like I'm hanging out and talking. What's up, Lori? I'm rewatching The Walking Dead because I'm in mourning with the fact that, I can't watch Yellowstone anymore. What's up, Vanessa? Nice to see you, honey. So, welcome to All Signs, you guys. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have an even better weekend. We're going to be taking a look at the person on your mind and what they would want to say to you, what they would want to say to you about themselves, what they would want to say to you about you, and what you should do about it, if anything. If you guys do want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during the live, then you can go ahead and visit hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. If you book a super chat question before the clock hits 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then you'll be able to get 15% off your reading. So you have about 10 more minutes to do that, okay? What's up, Nana? What's up, Enigma? What's up, Chris? Some good news. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Trying to talk to my friend and remind him I'm into him. Oh, okay. I didn't know you swung that way, buddy. That's what's up. Walking Dead. Yeah, I love Walking Dead. I think it was a really good show. To be honest, though, in my opinion, it really wasn't all that after Rick left. Spoiler alert, sorry. But I was just like, yeah, I just really can't get into it. All right. I guess I'll shuffle one more deck. What do I want to use? There's not. No, I guess I'll do the neon one. Shout out to Carmen. Both. All right. Oh, it's definitely Rick. Yeah, my favorite is definitely Rick. Like, even in the show From, I really like Boyd. I like the leaders mostly. I like the leaders. I like the characters that do the hardest thing, even if it's not the most liked. You know what I mean? I like those kinds of people. Definitely Rick, though. I still haven't watched The Ones Who Live, but I need for that. Rick Schoen reunion, right. Oh my God. He was tapping that, honey. I love From. From is pretty good. I think last shuffle, I think the funniest to me was when From really started getting more popular. I saw a guy and he was dressed up in like the blazer, he had the bell, he had the jeans, the haircut, like all of it, okay? Black man, you know what I'm saying? And he made the best Boyd. Oh my God, for Halloween, he dressed up like that last year. And I still have it saved in my phone. It was so good. Such like the best costume for last year. It was just the best costume. Have you guys been watching Handmaid's Tale? You guys know I'm into my shows. Okay, I'm into my programs. I gotta put on a little bit of lip gloss, honey. We're needing some help. We're really needing some help. Okay. Yeah, it was dude, the costume was so good. Okay. 1 second, please. All righty. All right, you guys, we're about ready to start. You need no, well, I don't think you saw me this morning, Geek Easy, honestly. All right, let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right, I guess we should do this. Well, my mic is working now. I don't know if I said that already. My mic is freaking working now. So random. Just what? All righty. Well, I just spilled all of those cards, I'm pretty sure. So that was wonderful. I don't really know what just happened. But yeah, so once again, you guys, welcome to All Signs. We're going to be taking a look at the person on your mind and what they would say or what they would like to say. We're going to be taking a look at what they would like to say about themselves, what they would like to say in regards to you and about you, and then your advice. If you want to book a super chat question, then you can do so by going to hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis and booking there. If you order within the next 5 minutes, then you can get 15% off your super chat question. Also, keep in mind that I do have a sale, which I very rarely do, for 30% off on my website, violettaalexis.com. If you want a full reading, you could head on over there. Just use code FULLMOON. All one word, all caps, full moon. Okay, so something to look forward to there as well. And that's going to be going on until Sunday. What's up, Donna? How you doing? What's up, Christina? What's up, Mary Yam? Would you start from Sag? Sure, I don't see why not. Yeah, I mean, shit. Yeah, we can start from Sag if you want. I don't mind doing that at all. So yeah, Lori, we're gonna start from Sag today. Okay. Do 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 do. Thank you, Lori. That would be correct. Now let me turn on my playlist. Let's get to it. After I do the Sag read, then the 15% off chance will be done. Okay, on Hypsee. Alrighty, let's see. Playlists. Writing ambiance. Here we go. Can you guys do a little check for me? So what I'm about to do is I'm going to turn my other camera on, which seems to be working now as well because it was being wonky earlier. And I want to know if you guys can hear me. So I'm going to switch it really quick. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Please let me know if you can. Testing, testing. Thank you so much. And let me turn this on. All righty. You're welcome, Maryam. Anytime. I am a Cap. I watch the readings, but I just like to admire. I assure you, I'm not. I'm not. It's just lighting, baby. I'm okay. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Good. Did I bring my water? I still want a signed book. Dude, they're just tarot spreads. The book that I published is very user friendly. You know, I did the whole card layouts, you know, I did the journal prompts. It's very user friendly. It's definitely for, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be for beginners. It can be for anybody, but the book I published is just a bunch of tarot spreads, journal prompts to go with them, the deep, the dark, the weird questions, and examples on how to do them. So that was fun. That was fun for me to do. I enjoyed that. So I hope you guys enjoy it as well. I believe that I put the link to buy my book on my posts. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, guys. Let's see. We're gonna start with Sagittarius first. Okay. We're trying to make Mary happy over here. Let's see. All right, we're just going to sit on that. What's going on, Sagittarius? How are you? This is to take a look at your person and what they would want to say to you, what they would want to say if you guys are not in conversation, or even if you are, what they would want to say about themselves to you, and what they would want to say about you to you, and then your advice. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. Ten of Wands, the Strength. So what they would want to say to you about themselves is the Ten of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Ace of Wands reversed. Definitely a bit of a, I don't necessarily want to say it's like a tail between their legs moment, but I think that if this person wanted to say something to you, it would likely be that whatever happened between the two of you, they have regrets around that. And they're having a hard time seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. They may also be having a hard time potentially asking for forgiveness with that Five of Cups there. The Five of Cups is more so when we're kind of wallowing in our own self-pity and our own self-hatred, even to some extent. But we're having a hard time being able to move forward because we're so focused on what has already occurred, because there's some level of regret, or there's some level of missing somebody, and maybe they were the cause. Maybe this person misses you and they feel like they were the cause of some kind of no contact, or maybe you guys are married and you're living in the same house and they may be having a hard time asking for forgiveness, or they may be having a hard time being honest with you about something because they feel like they're a burden. The Ten of Wands being with how they feel about themselves in regards to the two of you is, if this person had to say something to you, they would likely tell you, I feel like a burden. I feel like I'm the one that has to take responsibility, but I likely don't know how. So with the Ten of Wands there, that's good because they do accept some level of responsibility for something. And they even take responsibility for something that you may have done if you did anything, okay? So I think that with the Five of Cups there, however, it's somebody who's having a hard time kind of wiping their hands clean. And with the Ace of Wands in reverse, there's some kind of delay. Why? The Four of Cups, they feel like you're going to reject them. I kind of feel like sometimes they don't really know, they would probably tell you that they don't know whether they should just let it go or if they should actually say something. And that's because I think that they're fearing rejection. They're either fearing rejection or they're fearing disappointing you in some kind of way. So they're putting something off. What they would tell you about you, the Strength, the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords reversed. I want to say that they would probably say, you know a lot, but you don't know everything. That is likely what they would tell you. They would tell you that they feel like you're stronger than them. Because the Ten of Wands is a strong card, which is in them, right? That's how they feel about themselves. It's a strong card because it takes a lot to carry all those wands, right? But the Strength is quite a bit stronger, just in a different way, but it is stronger. The Strength is a major arcana, so they can feel like something in regards to your personal circumstance in your life has made you this way. Something that came outside of you has now become you, but made you strong in a positive way. This is also somebody who feels like you're the one that's going to take the lead in regards to building things for your life. This is somebody that also feels like you're on your way to becoming a king or a queen of pentacles. So they may feel or see you as somebody who has the strength, who has the confidence, who has the pride, in a positive way to be able to build what it is that they truly want in life. Now, what I want to say is with that Page of Swords in reverse, they would probably tell you that, once again, you know a lot, but you don't know everything. And they would tell you that there's something you are assuming about me that isn't true, or you have the wrong information. Whether that's true or not, this is what they would say to you. So tell me about the Page of Swords in reverse. How about we do that? The Magician. They may feel like you assume that they're either a manipulator or they've abused their power in some way. Um, they may also feel like you're assuming some kind of intention that they've had or that they have now around you specifically. For some of you, if you've like talked crap about this person or if there's been any like gossip, rumors, drama on your side, I guess they would probably tell you that they're not happy about that. Okay. Whether that's true or not. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is somebody who's trying to take responsibility, but there is a fear of being rejected by you. So your advice is the Hierophant reversed and the King of Swords. So this may be asking you to think outside of the box when it comes to this situation specifically, whatever that means for you. So the Hierophant in reverse can also represent, for advice, does something align with your morals and your values and your belief system? And that's always not necessarily bad if it doesn't. It's just maybe asking you to not be so rigid in your thinking. I'm not saying that you are. This would just simply be the advice for what this is. Okay. And the King of Swords is Aquarian energy, which is all about thinking outside of the box. And the King of Swords is also about making head over heart decisions and being very logical in regards to communication, thinking, etc. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can go to hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All right. Shall we move on to Capricorn? All right, Capricorn, what's going on? How are you? Let's go ahead and see what your person would say or wants to say. What's going on, Tyler? How you doing? All right, Capricorn. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, you know what? Let me put that I'm live on Hypsee. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. All right, there we go. Wanted to make sure people were able to get their discounts. Awesome. Perfect. All right, we got some Deyanira. Nice to see you again. Christina, Wander Tarot ×2. That's my girl. We got Zaza and Haruka. I know I said that wrong. All right, Capricorn, you're up. Let's do it. Let's see. We got the Judgment. And we have the 9 of Wands. Okay, well, let's see that Judgment. This is what they would say to you about themselves. The 8 of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed. Is this Queen of Cups reversed supposed to be Capricorn? Yes. Okay. So that Queen of Cups in reverse is apparently you. Okay. So you're involved in what they would tell you about themselves. So I like that the Judgment is here, even though the rest of the cards are a little wonky, because it tells me that this is somebody who would probably tell you that they were not up to standard or they feel like they were not up to par in some way, being involved in your life, putting in an effort, but they feel like they probably didn't put in enough. This can be somebody who may also tell you that they're being very hard on themselves, and this may be somebody as well who is usually very hard on themselves and in turn may have been very hard on you in some way. This is also somebody that would say, I know you don't trust me and it's my fault. And with that Judgment there, this is somebody who is understanding the part that they've played in a role between the two of you. Now, if you guys are still dating or if you're still in contact, if you're married, great. Whatever the case is, it would still stand. Okay. It still stands whether you're in contact or not. So, for instance, if you were like, come on, dude, I asked you to start buying me flowers, once a week and maybe putting the toilet seat down or, maybe making more of an effort to hang out with my family or whatever it is, or be more transparent with me with your feelings or whatever. And because they didn't do that or they feel like they didn't do that, they correlate that to your distrust for them. So, if you do distrust this person, if you feel like you can't really count on them because that's what they believe, okay? then they would likely tell you it's my fault, because the judgment is about a reckoning. It's about a reconciliation. It's about taking accountability for your behavior in the past, their behavior in the past, right? So this could also be somebody, if you're not in contact, then this also may be someone that is saying, I want a reconciliation with you, but I don't know how to put in the effort because I know that you'd probably cut me off at the knees, or you don't trust me, so I'm feeling uncomfortable. That's probably what they would say. So what they would tell you about you: the 9 of Wands, the Ace of Cups reversed, and the High Priestess. Okay. They would probably tell you that they admire your courage. They would probably tell you that they understand why your boundaries are so high in general, with people, with them. And this is somebody who also feels like you have a lot to give. But they also understand why sometimes you have to give it to yourself and not everybody else, or not them, because it may drain you. For some of you, if you're an introvert, side note that I'm hearing, this may be somebody who appreciates that about you. Okay. Side note for some of you. I heard it in my head, so I had to say it. This is somebody who would likely tell you that you're very attractive, sexual, desirable, intuitive. This may be somebody that knows that you like tarot, or knows that you're involved or you enjoy the occult in some way. Tell me about the Ace of Cups reversed, Ace of Swords. Yeah, I mean, this person would probably tell you, like, it's almost like the way that they see you is somebody who has been through the ringer, and somebody who is coming out on top, or has come out on top despite their circumstances. And they may feel like at times you're drained, but you know that about yourself. You know that you have that ability to maybe be easily drained by people. So in turn, you kind of go in your hidey hole and you hide out yourself, and they probably appreciate that about you. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, Tell me about that High Priestess. Hmm. Okay, this is a weird message I heard for some of you, that this person likes your feet. Okay, I don't know why I heard that. For some of you, this person likes your feet. I'm sorry. I heard it. I gotta say it. Um, this is also somebody who would probably tell you that you were right about a lot of things and that you shouldn't doubt your intuition. This is likely somebody that admires you for how sexy you are, how attractive you are, and how emotionally intuitive and intelligent you are. Your advice: the Lovers reversed and the 9 of Cups. This is more so about focusing on yourself and what you need on an individual level. And I feel like that might be what you're doing anyway, because, well, at least for how they're seeing you, or what they would say about you, is that you are self-focused. The nines, which you have the 9 of wands here, and then you have the 9 of cups, is about individuality. It's about self. And so spirit is asking you to focus on the things that make you happy, not necessarily anybody else. I'm not saying that, you can't be a giving or good person. That's not what I'm saying. But when it comes to you and your own happiness, that's what you need to focus on. That Lovers in reverse tells me something isn't quite in alignment yet, or a decision can't quite be made. So it's telling you just to kind of focus on yourself right now. Okay. And the rest will kind of come. That makes sense. So thanks a lot, Capricorn. That is what I have for you. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get your cards read on this live stream, then you can head on over to hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis and book a super chat question with me there. Okay. All right. What's going on, Carmen? How you doing? All right. Then we have Aquarius. What's going on, Aquarius? How are you? Does your cat connect to a cap V? The feet comment. I'm so dead. Oh, how do you guys remember this stuff? All right, let's see. All right, Aquarius, let's see what your person would say to you. What they would say to you about themselves is the Chariot reverse. You could be dealing with the Cancer here. The Three of Cups for what they would say about you, to you. So let's see that Chariot reversed first. Is that Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Aquarius? Okay. So, the Chariot reverse, the Seven of Swords, the Six of Cups. For some of you, a side note, if this person owes you money, they're trying to avoid that like the plague. Okay. Or if they owe you something, they may be trying to avoid that. For others of you, they would probably, if they were being totally honest, they would probably tell you that I'd hate to say that about your person, but they would probably tell you that they might be a bit of a coward. They might be fearful. They might be afraid. They feel out of control. They feel like they don't have control over you, over the situation, over the relationship, over the connection. And I don't know if that's what they want. I don't know if they want control, if they want control over how you perceive them, whatever it may be. But because of that, they may be avoiding the relationship, or they may be avoiding accountability. They may be hiding things. They may be hiding things because they feel like they need to, because they think that you're insecure, or they feel like you would become destabilized and become very mean. This may be somebody as well that would probably tell you that they feel like in some way they've been a gift to you. Don't shoot me, okay? But that's how they may feel with that Six of Cups. For others of you, the Six of Cups can represent somebody who would probably tell you that they cherish the memories that you guys have very, very much. But I think that they're avoiding something bigger out of fear. And they feel, it's almost like they feel as though they're protecting you from some kind of information. You know what I mean? And I think that they would be afraid of your response. What is this information we're trying to protect here? The Five of Swords. They could have lied. Once again, I mean, the Seven of Swords, the Five of Swords, lying, cheating, stealing. What they don't know won't hurt them kind of vibe. The Five of Swords can also represent, somebody who's playing games or being quite deceptive or manipulative. So they may have manipulated you or deceived you in some way, and they're afraid to tell you. I feel like you already know if they did that, to be honest. But let's see what they would say to you about you. The Three of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Justice reversed. This is more of like a the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands, when you think about that together, it's like we're having fun, we're getting together, we're talking. This person is probably someone who would tell you that they really enjoy being your friend. I'm not saying that's all it is, okay? But they enjoy having that with you. And I think it's important, even if you're married to this person, I think it's important for everybody to have a really good friendship with the person that they're with, because the most respect can usually draw from these true and honest to God fundamental friendships. So I think that that's probably part of what they think of you, or part of what they would tell you. I think that this is somebody who also would say that they love going out with you. You guys maybe hit up some really great restaurants, some bars, some clubs. They enjoy that with you. Um, if it's not that, or it still can be that, two things can be true at the same time, then this may be somebody who thinks about a relationship with you, or maybe if you're in a relationship, they enjoy it, but there may be this energy where they feel like you won't fully commit in some way, or it's that there's something is non-reciprocal, or that if you're not committed to this person, they really enjoy you. They really enjoy the level of commitment that you guys are at, but they may be like, I don't think I'm willing to fully get to the next level. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me see that Justice. Yeah, the Temperance. I think they feel like you're not fair or you're not playing fair. Okay. Whether that's true or not, I don't give a shit. I don't know you or them. Okay. I'm just telling you that because this is about you. So once again, they love hanging out with you. They love having your guys' talks. Maybe they're deep talks, whatever, very comfort food kind of talks, having fun, maybe going over to each other's houses or living with you if you guys live together. But once again, they feel like you don't play fair, or there's something about you where you make decisions solely based on yourself and nobody else, when they feel like it should be more equal, or you should be more fair to them or more patient maybe. But so I don't know what that's about. The 8 of Swords for your advice with the Devil. Alrighty. Some of you, if this is like an obsessive, toxic kind of environment, or if this is kind of a toxic relationship, maybe you're a part of that. I have no idea. It may be telling you that you have a really big decision to make, and it's not an easy decision, but you do have options available to you. So whether it's like time to split because maybe you're not taking this seriously, or it's time to split because somebody has an addiction or something, or if it's something completely different, whatever it may be, a decision needs to be made. But there first needs to be an awareness of whatever the toxic pattern is. So the Devil needs to be in reverse, not in the upright, especially with that 8 of Swords here. Because once we have an awareness of our own personal patterns, or even the person that we're dating or that we're seeing, then that means that we're receptive to the information and we can actually decide upon it and do something about it. Okay, so something to kind of keep in mind here. But that is what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you guys so much. I do hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live stream, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All right. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Give me 1 second. All right, cool. Pisces, what's going on, Pisces? How you doing? What's up, Tom? Oh, Carmen, good for you. What's up, Alien? I'm great, Alien. I hope you're doing well also. All right, guys. All right, Pisces, let's go ahead and check it out. All right, Pisces, let's see what your person would want to say to you. The Hangman reverse for what they would say to you, but about themselves. What they would say to you about you is the Sun reverse. So let's see this first. The Hangman reverse, the 2 of Wands reverse, the 2 of Pentacles. Ooh, indecision, indecision, indecision. Okay. This is somebody who would probably tell you that they don't really know what to do. They don't really feel like they see things clearly. They may not have an understanding of what has transpired or what will transpire, or how they should even be thinking about this situation for whatever reason. So, for instance, if this is somebody who you're not in contact with, then they're probably hanging tough. They probably really haven't let go. They're not really seeing things clearly. And I think that they know that. And so, because they're not seeing things clearly, they would probably tell you that they're not really making a decision. They're trying to be practical more than anything, but they fear coming out of their comfort zone, or they fear making a decision that might piss you off or might change something or shift the energy in the way that they don't necessarily want it to. So I want to see that 2 of Wands reversed, the 2 of Cups. They love you. They likely love you. They feel like you guys have a very deep, mutual, loving bond that's very protective and sacred in some way. But they fear it, or they feel like something has to be reworked around how you guys relate to one another, or how emotions are expressed. So the Two of Pentacles is them just kind of hanging tough. Like the Two of Pentacles, it's like, yes, we're keeping the balls in the air. We're maintaining what is, but we're still feeling a little crazy, right? We still have some cabin fever. We're maintaining something, but we're feeling a little squirrely. So whatever the situation, let me see what that Hangman in reverse is. Yeah, I told you they haven't let go of you, or they're having a hard time dropping something. And it feels like they don't know how to move forward either from this relationship or how to move forward with you, because there's something from the past that hasn't really changed. It's still happening, or it's still current. Whether that's because of you, them, I don't care. I'm just telling you what it says, right? Or what they would say. So what they would say about you to you would be the Sun reversed, the Five of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Woo-wee! Well, damn, Pisces. You know what they would say to you? You probably don't even want to know what they'd say to your ass. They would probably tell you that you're a stubborn old bullheaded motherfucker. Honestly, that's probably what they would tell you. They would probably tell you that, your ego is bigger than planet Earth itself. They will probably tell you that you fight for no reason. You fight because you care too much secretly about what they think. You fight yourself, you fight everybody around you, or you just have a lot of internal conflicts because there's a fear around how you're being perceived or how you may be perceived, or there's this constant critical nature that they would probably tell you that you have, which probably drives them crazy. Okay. Now, the sun, even when it's reversed, it's still positive. So this is still somebody who would probably tell you, you still make me happy, but you're a pain in my ass. You know, you're a pain in what's that Knight of Pentacles in reverse? The Eight of Wands reversed. They feel like it's your own bullheadedness or stubbornness that keeps you guys stuck. That's also what they would tell you. Tell me about that Five of Wands. The Knight of Wands. I think that they admire your passion. Like when you get upset about something, like when you really believe something, when you believe in something, they probably admire your passion, but they would tell you that while they admire your passion, they don't like when it's being directed at them. Right? And isn't that the way of it? So your advice here is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse on the Wheel of Fortune. So the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is about feeling like you need to prove something to someone, or you need to try to convince something of someone, maybe, right? Venus and Virgo. But it's trying to prove your worth. Nine of Pentacles reverse. Prove your worth by giving what you don't necessarily have, or what you're not at this very moment capable of having. So with that Wheel of Fortune, it's telling you to let go and let nature kind of take its course. You don't have to control everything all the time. Okay. Forgive me for saying, but it is the advice. Flip this if you need to. Okay. Please, by all means, reverse it. It's just a general reading. But it's trying to tell you, like, it's okay to be happy. It's okay to let up. I'm not saying this person isn't a piece of shit. Once again, I don't know them, but Spirit is telling you it's okay to kind of let up and just be happy in your life. It's okay. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to convince anyone a shit, honestly. Okay? And you might feel all the better for it, if you kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit or whatever. Okay. So thanks a lot, Pisces. I know that was a tough one. I really appreciate it. I do hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live stream, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Pisces. Have a good one. All right. Now it's Aries. What's up, chosen Aries? All right, Aries. Okay. What is going on, Aries? I hope you're having a good one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the person on your mind. So what your person would say to you about themselves would be the Seven of Pentacles reversed. What your person would say about you to you would be the Seven of Wands. 7, 7. Okay, so let's see that Seven of Pentacles reversed first. Hmm. Eee. Well, I've seen worse, you know, as a tarot reader. I've certainly seen worse. I mean, they would probably tell you that they have lost their patience with you. They would probably tell you that they're still in pain. So this is if they had the courage, okay, to tell you. They would tell you they're still in pain over maybe something that you did, some kind of pain that you may have caused them. They are having a hard time really resting from that or being able to act from a place of indifference. I want to see that Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Three of Wands reversed. They would tell you that they either waited on you or waited for you to do something or waited for something to change, and because they didn't get that from you, they feel like they wasted their time. And that's what they would tell you. They would tell you that they're pissed off because they didn't get the return on their investment or they didn't get back something that they felt like they actively put in. So they would probably tell you, I don't want to waste my time on this anymore. This frustrates me. This aggravates me, Aries, and I'm still hurt by whatever pain has transpired or accumulated between the two of you. And I haven't let it go. And I don't really plan to anytime soon. I don't think like they're instinctively like or excuse me, not instinctively, intentionally trying to hold on to that pain. It's just what it is right now in this moment. Why is that Three of Swords reversed? The Tower. They would tell you that what happened was very unexpected. Was very unexpected, but they would probably tell you it was necessary because they feel like they needed to see that. That's what I'm getting. Because they would be telling you that it was built on a shaky foundation anyway. So like it is what it is. Like it had to crumble. That's what they would tell you. And they understand the ramifications of war, basically. Or, you know, the ramifications of being invested or emotionally invested or whatever it is. So let's see what they would tell you or say to you about you. Why that Queen of Wands reversed? Well, there you are, Aries. The Queen of Wands reversed, okay? Is that Queen of Wands reversed this person on the left? Yes. Oh, I see. So that Queen of Wands in reverse is apparently that first person there. You know what it is? It's almost as if they can't stand the fake shit. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's that they think you're fake or they just feel like um they have tried for maybe a really long time to act a certain way or maybe even try to act indifferent in some way or detached, but I think that they have a hard time doing that. This is somebody who also feels like you have your defenses quite high. And they would probably tell you that it could either be that you made them jealous or it could be that you really pissed them off and made them angry, but they feel like they have to hold back from you because either you guys have to work together in some way or they may feel like you're trying to just get on the same page with them while keeping them at a distance. This is somebody who also may feel like There's some competitiveness here in some way. They may feel like there's some competitiveness. But they do feel like you're keeping them at a distance and, like, just kind of getting along. Although I think this person would probably tell you that they've learned a lot from you. Like, not necessarily that you were sitting down with them and giving them a fucking tutoring lesson, but, like, that they have learned from the experience with you about themselves, about life, about partnership, just in general. Let's see advice. Page of Cups reversed on the King of Pentacles. So, okay, for a very few of you Aries, if you're like somebody who's been emotionally manipulative, or if you have been kind of playing the victim in some right, it's asking you to take responsibility for something or be responsible. For others of you, if that's not the case, then it may be telling you right now you need to focus on your money, you need to focus on your business, you need to focus on your 3D reality, your health, things of that nature. And maybe right now is not the right time to try to give to love in some kind of way. It doesn't mean that you can't at some point, obviously, but it may also be asking how committed you are to this person, whether this is a business partnership, whether this is a friendship, whether this is a love partnership, whatever it is. And maybe asking you how committed you are. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Aries. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot. All right, let's see here. Hey, Aquarius. We actually started in Sagittarius, which I don't think I've ever done in the entirety of my tarot career. But we started at Sag, and then we worked our way. So we went Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and now we're going to do Taurus. All right, let's see here. All right, what's going on, Taurus? Let's go ahead and take a look at your person, okay? So what this person would tell you about themselves would be the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. What they would tell you about you is the Knight of Cups. Okay, well, let's see what that Ace of Pentacles in reverse is. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Okay, tell me about the Ace of Pentacles reversed. You know what I think? it this person would probably tell you that, hey, I did not really realize how much fucking work this was gonna be. Because what has essentially occurred is something snapped this person out of a disillusionment. And not necessarily in a bad way, more in a way of, oh, you thought it was only going to take this much to continue this relationship or to nurture this connection or to take care of this friendship, whatever it is. They probably would tell you that they didn't realize how much effort it was going to take, but they would tell you it's worth it. They would tell you that they love you with that 10 of cups. For some of you, you're in a relationship with this person for that 10 of cups to be there, but they would tell you that they love you, that you are their ideal partner in a lot of ways. And the 5 of Pentacles in reverse makes me feel like they would be willing, or they would tell you that they'd be willing to work through anything in order to make that happen, or to continue the relationship. Tell me about that 5 of Pentacles reversed, the Hermit reversed. They would probably also tell you that they had to go through a bit of a dark night of the soul in order to come to an understanding about who they are in general and who they are in regards to relationships, or who they are when they're in relationships. And they would probably tell you that you had a huge impact on that, and you have a huge impact on who they are now. I don't feel like this is a new thing with that 10 of cups there. This feels like a lot of past energy. This may also be somebody who would tell you that if they have like a mental disorder, or not like a mental disorder, I mean maybe, or if they're just like anxious, or if this is somebody who lacks self-awareness in some kind of way, or even lacks humility, inner reflection, this would probably be someone who would tell you that they're working on it, or they're willing to come out of that, or they're willing to do the work in order to come out of that. If you're in separation with them, they would tell you that they want you back. That's what they would tell you with that 5 of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Cups, in my opinion. How do I explain that? Like, if I were them talking through myself, okay, I would probably tell you that they don't know, or I don't know how I'm going to make it work. I just know that I love you, or I know that I'm trying, something like that. Or I want to try. This person loves you, Taurus. So what they would tell you about you. The Knight of Cups, the Nine of Swords reversed, and the Star. Wow, that's really pretty. This is the best reading yet, I would say. This would be somebody that would probably tell you that they love how either romantic you are, how creative you are, how loving and vulnerable you are. And they would tell you that you make them feel safe, or you make them feel comfortable in a lot of ways. You help ease their mind. They would tell you that you're very healing for them, and because of your ability to practice vulnerability with them and through them, that you have brought them a lot of hope as well. Just in regards to love, in regards to the connection, this is somebody who would tell you that they see you in their future with the star energy there. Tell me about that 9 of Swords reversed, the 8 of Cups. Mm. If you have been in and out with this person a lot, or if there's been a constant wondering if somebody's going to leave, or maybe somebody has, or something like that, they might tell you that they're less worried about that now, or they hope that you would be less worried about them walking away. I would feel like they would probably tell you that they're not worried about the future of this entanglement, or this marriage, or this relationship, or this dynamic, and that you shouldn't be either. Advice? King of Cups reversed, the Moon reversed. Ooh. Um, I don't know who's doing this, okay? There may be some um emotionally immature projections that someone's making based around fear. There may be somebody as well who feels like they have to play a certain role in order to get their needs met, because there could be fear that there won't be a reciprocation for love, so they may feel like they have to play a certain role. And I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that's this person, but I really think that somebody's needing to be honest about that. Okay. There can be somebody here as well who needs to be more open and honestly vulnerable. Okay. It doesn't mean that you have to say your truth or this person has to say their truth in a nasty way, but more transparent truths do need to be spoken. Okay. So thank you so much, Taurus and Crosswatcher, of course. I really appreciate it. I hope that you guys will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read on this live stream, then you can do so by heading on over to hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis and booking a super chat question there. All right. Thanks a lot, Taurus. Oh, that's what's up, Casey. Love to hear that. What's up, Nicole? Gemini. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and take a look at the person that's on your mind. We're going to take a look at what this person would say to you about themselves and then what this person would say to you about you. Okay, let's see that Empress reversed. Whoa. Wow. Notice how they're not facing each other. Cut from the same cloth. Peas in a pod. Just in a really fucked up pod. That's probably how they see it. So the Empress and the Emperor are a match. They're a divine feminine and a divine masculine. Now, when they're in the reverse, they're not at their best. This person would probably tell you they feel like the two of you are a match made in heaven or a match made in hell. But they're still wanting to explore that. And they would likely tell you that they're trying to explore it, that they're wanting to communicate with you about trying to explore the connection in some kind of way. But whether this person is the feminine or the masculine, I'm just going to say it like this. This person feels like the feminine is overgiving because of their lack of self-worth or their own personal sense of insecurity. So they could feel like the feminine, whether that's them or you, is overbearing or smothering in some kind of way or overdoing it, you know. And then they feel like the masculine is trying to puff out his chest and look like a big Billy badass or is, you know, really immature in some kind of way. Whatever the case is, this is somebody who still feels like or would tell you, yes, you guys are fucked up in your own way, but there's still this element of, but it could work if we get our right. And that's kind of the same song for everybody, right? But that's what they would tell you. Because, I mean, the emperor is the king of all kings. The empress is the queen of all queens. But it's just more so because that Knight of Swords is Gemini. It's like, how do we make it happen? How do we make it work? It's a question, not necessarily an answer. The Knight of Swords is usually looking for answers. He's looking to dig. He's looking to question. He's looking to find out, right? Tell me more about that Knight of Swords, the worlds. What are we doing here, is what I heard. What are we doing here? This may be somebody who wants to see what the end of the road looks like between the two of you, but in a good way, like in a positive way, not in a fuck you, I'm out of here kind of way, but more in a way of what can we do about this or what can we do with this? This is somebody who would probably tell you that they're willing to take the time. They're willing to take the time to see where it goes. They're willing to take the time to rebuild or build or whatever it is. And they're also probably willing to take the initiative with that Knight of Swords there. That's probably what they would tell you. What they would tell you about you. Six of Pentacles, Ten of Swords reversed, Two of Swords. They feel like you're a bit of a peacemaker, you know? Tell me about that Two of Swords. The Fool. I heard I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. That's what I heard. They would tell you you're giving. You're a giving and you're a generous person despite the trials and tribulations that the two of you have been through or that you've just been through in your own life. And they probably feel like because you and them have had a lot of arguments or betrayals or whatever, they may feel like you prioritize peace over a lot of other things. Um, they view you as somebody who tries to avoid doing anything reckless. They may feel like, or they would tell you that you're somebody who is more emotionally maybe stable out of the two potentially, and they appreciate how generous you are even when, or how kind you can be even when um they're trying to get your goat kind of thing. So I feel like in this dynamic, at least the way that you're viewing them, like, what's the best way I can describe this? So, like, me and this person I was dating, we would have like a pretty big argument. And my way of just kind of finding the peace would be to make a nice meal, right? And then that was kind of right. And then the apology would come. So even though I was very upset, and even though we were having this huge argument, I would still fix this nice big meal as like a peace treaty in some way. And while I'm not saying that you're like cooking for them when you guys get in a big fight, it's kind of like that. It's like a peace offering of some sort that they feel like you are that kind of person. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see your advice. The Seven of Wands, the Ace of Swords reversed. What's that Ace of Swords reversed? Seven of Swords reversed. All right. So, I feel like there's somebody here who may have a guilty conscience, okay? And I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that's them. But we're either needing to dig for a truth that we don't have, or we're needing to speak the truth that the other person doesn't have it. And it's to be able to maintain the relationship and continue to build it so it can move forward on a healthy foundation. So if it's being built off of lies in some way, or if somebody's not being totally honest, and like, listen, we don't need to like, we don't need to tell every single truth about our entire lives until we're blue in the face. Like, but you know what I mean? The important stuff. And so there may be a need for you guys to do that in order for things to be built on a healthy foundation, essentially. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get your cards read on this live stream, then you can go ahead and book a super chat question over at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Gemini, and I hope you have a good one. Let's go ahead and move on to Cancer. Peacekeeper, I know you do. Sorry. Ah. Okay, here we go. All right, what's going on? Cancer. Enigma, I'm not really sure. I haven't checked, to be honest with you. I really haven't checked that much. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what your person would tell you. Let's first see what they would tell you about themselves. Oh, big dog. Okay, King of Wands. What they would tell you about you is the Two of Pentacles. So let's see that King of Wands first. Damn. Triple Leo energy here. Oof. That is serious, huh? Well, I mean, I'm not trying to sound gross, but they probably tell you that they want to have sex with you. Feel like a lot of you likely already know that, but well, I mean, who is the King of Wands, right? Let's take a look at that. Who's the King of Wands? This is somebody who will probably tell you that they feel like they can lead or that they are a leader. This may be somebody who is sick of fighting with your ass. Okay. I don't think it's a big deal though, because the Five of Wands is not a big deal. It's like, okay, we're all talking over each other. Nobody's being heard, right? We're not really getting anywhere. But this is somebody who's confident that they can get you guys somewhere. Okay. Don't shoot me. This is somebody who's very attracted to you. You light up this person's life. This is somebody who wants to make you happy, and they would probably tell you that if they had the courage. Maybe they did tell you. I don't know. Maybe you got lucky, but they would tell you that they hello, my God, that they would want to make you happy, that they want to make you happy, despite the drama or despite the ridiculous, penniless fights. This is somebody who cares about you, most likely a great deal, but they're wondering if you don't trust their leadership or you don't trust them to make you happy. This is also somebody who would probably tell you that they want to inspire you because you inspire them a great deal, potentially around creativity or just the love that you have to offer. I do want to see that Five of Wands, the moon. For some of you, this person will probably tell you that they're battling their own demons that they feel like they can't even see sometimes. Like this person may, if they were aware, or maybe they are aware, but if they were able to formulate it into words, they would tell you that sometimes they don't know why they react like that. The Five of Wands, the moon. The moon can sometimes be something that we can't really see, but we trust that it's there because we can feel it. But it can also be a projection based around fears or insecurities. And the moon can also be somebody who's learning to trust themselves, but they're having a hard time, especially with that Five of Wands. The sun and the moon. Wow. This person could have a strong Leo, Cancer, or Pisces placement. I mean, the moon in tarot is not Cancer, although you think it would be. The moon in tarot is Pisces, even though Cancer rules Cancer, even though the moon rules Cancer in astrology. So really interesting. I want to see that sun. No, I want to see that King of Wands. The Four of Wands reverse. Yeah, they feel like they are not, there's something about this person where they want to lead you or they want to create the direction and where this relationship or this connection goes. But they don't feel welcome by you to do that. They may feel like you have insecurities or distrust around them doing that. But this person definitely wants to, you know, fuck your brains out. So have fun. What they would tell you about you. Wow. Two of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Knight of Cups reverse. What's the Knight of Cups reverse? The Temperance reverse. They feel like you're a little crazy. The Knight of Cups in reverse is a moody little shit, right? And with the Temperance in reverse, it can be somebody who overdoes it. They may feel like while you're great in bed or you're a great lover, right? The Lovers is here with the Two of Pentacles. While they feel like you're an impeccable choice, they feel like you're fucking crazy. Maybe they feel like yes, you're a once in a lifetime kind of connection. And I think that they would tell you that they appreciate that about you wholeheartedly, but they feel like you're a little chaotic. Two of Pentacles as well. The Two of Pentacles, look, I talk about the Two of Pentacles a lot, but the Two of Pentacles is great, but it's still a bit of a chaotic card. It's like, yeah, we're trying to make practical decisions, but like we feel like a clown. We're trying to juggle it all, or we're just things are a little chaotic. And this is somebody who feels that way about you. Like you're a little crazy, right? But like, listen, especially ladies, don't let men tell you that they don't like it when you're crazy. They say that they don't like that until you stop caring, okay, what they're doing, and you back that crazy off, and then they get really sad about it. Okay. So like don't let them tell you otherwise. Okay, well, it talks about what kind of level of crazy we're talking about. So, advice here, we got the Five of Swords and the Ace of Wands in reverse. It's not worth it. Listen, some of you guys getting in these arguments with that 5 of Swords where it's all or nothing, gloves are off, you know. I mean, I'm not saying you guys are throwing each other's shit out in the lawn or anything like that, but it is squabbles that don't go anywhere. And you guys may have both of you, maybe one of you, I don't know, but have maybe taken some low blows towards one another, which is actually killing the passion or killing the desire in the relationship. And it's going to continue to blow it out until there's no light left. So something to keep in mind. Okay. And I don't know if that's you doing it. I don't know if it's them. Okay. I don't care. I'm just telling you what the advice is. Okay. Thanks a lot, Cancer. I really appreciate it. I do hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to be able to get your cards read during this live stream, then you can head on over to hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Also, you guys don't forget, I am having a 30% off sale for all personal readings on my website with the code full moon, all one word, all in uppercase on my website, violetaalexis.com. All right, let's move on to Leo. What's up, lady? How you doing? Oh, did she tell you about Ivar? Isn't that so cute? What's up, Moon Empress? Hey, nothing wrong with a little bit of crazy. All right, Leo. Okay, Leo, let's see what's going on with you. What your person would tell you about themselves is the Three of Swords reversed. What they would tell you about you is the Fool reversed. So let's see that Three of Swords reversed first. Five of Pentacles. King of Swords reversed. Phew. My goodness. What's that Three of Swords reversed about? The Nine of Pentacles reversed. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, quite frankly, Leo, this is somebody who's pretty upset. They're pretty upset because they may have, or they would tell you that they tried to prove to you what they were worth, or they tried to prove that they were a ride or die, or they tried to prove that they would do anything for you kind of thing, even despite themselves, even at their own detriment, and they feel like it's still not working, or they feel abandoned, or they still like don't feel like they're worth a crap. It's like it feels like somebody who believes that they have poured and poured into a relationship or into a connection just to either get abandoned or to feel kind of out of sorts in some way, or feel like what they've been giving or what they have given isn't enough. Now, listen, I don't know this person. For all I know, this person is a piece of shit to you. I mean, I have no idea. I'm just telling you what they would say to you. Okay. I do want to see that King of Swords reversed. The Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I told you. They feel like they invested and invested, and it's just like a fart in a shoebox. It just doesn't matter, you know. Well, that's true or not, I don't know. But they feel lost for words. They're not really sure what to say. They're not really sure what to say, how to say it. They may not even know if they're going to continue to invest in this. They may not know if they're going to continue to give because they feel like they're not getting something in return, basically. Is really the nuts and the bolts of it. Okay. And so there could also be this level of codependence. You know, there can be some level of dependence that this person has felt for you. Or maybe they tried to make you dependent on them. Maybe it went both ways. I have no idea. But there's this level of it's either financial, emotional, communicative dependence in some way where this person feels like they cannot fulfill whatever that void was before you even came along, and they feel like they still can't fulfill it. This person, basically, hands down, this person doesn't feel like they're enough. So what they would say to you about you is the Fool reversed, The Two of Wands, the Three of Cups. When it comes to them, they would probably tell you that they know that you're hesitant and you're trying to decide whether or not you want to still deal with them, or whether or not you want a friendship, or whether or not you want to reconsider. They may be like, I know you're on the fence, or I know that you're trying to decide. Okay. Um, if we're just talking about in general terms, this may be somebody who says that they understand you're apprehensive when it comes to coming out of your comfort zone by letting new people in, or kind of coming out of your element in order to associate with maybe people that you don't necessarily associate with, but they appreciate that you have done that for them in some way. This may also be somebody who understands that you're trying not to be impulsive. Let me see that Fool reversed. This person may be telling you that they feel like you're on the brink of giving up if you haven't already, but they hope that you'll give in. Tell me about that Two of Wands. The Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they feel like you're just kind of following their lead, or you don't really know what you want. You don't really know what you're gonna do about this. They may feel like you're reconciling with somebody else, or they may feel like, you're hanging out with your friends, but you're not really sure if you want to deal with them, so to speak. And they could be thinking that something triggered you into this, or into thinking this way. Your advice is the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. Well, the Six of Pentacles can be about being generous or receiving from somebody else's generosity. But now with the Nine of Cups, this is about yourself. This is about what makes you happy, and needing to be honest with yourself about that, and needing to give to yourself in that way is basically what it's saying. Like, what do you want? It's not really about what anybody else wants. It's not about what this person wants. It's not about what your mom wants per se. It's about what you want. And so, and maybe asking you, what are you willing to accept versus what are you not willing to accept in order to accumulate that, or in order to get to that point with yourself. Okay. So thank you so much, Leo. I really appreciate you. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read on this live stream, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Okay. Thanks a lot, Leo. All right, let's do Virgo. All right, Virgo, let's go ahead and take a look at the person on your mind, shall we? What this person would want to say to you about themselves. Excuse me. The Strength reverse, we got Leo here. And then what they would say to you about you is the King of Cups reverse. Okay, let me see that Strength. Strength reverse, Page of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Ace of Pentacles. Okay. This person admires you. They would tell you that they admire you. This can be somebody new for some of you, but regardless of whether they're new or not, it really doesn't fucking matter. This would be somebody who would say, I admire you. They may admire you for your courage, or they may have a huge crush on you, or this may be somebody who would express to you that you wake up their inner child. I know that sounds really corny, but you may help them feel more comfortable in being weak. Does that make sense? So, there is this one scene where I don't want to give it away, so I'm not going to say what show it is, but this woman, she really loved her dad, and she was a tough bitch. Okay. She was really, really tough on the show. I mean, she was a kick ass. All right. Nobody scared her. And even if they did, she never showed it. Okay. And nobody really was her equal. Let's be honest. So One day her dad dies and she's holding it together. She's holding it together, but her husband has been out of state, and you're just watching her like hold it together and hold it together. And then her husband finally is able to travel back, okay? And he parks in front of the house, and you see her run outside of the house, and she just crumbled in his arms, and that was the first time she had like a true honest to God shit-eating breakdown. This person would tell you that they feel like that with you. They feel that they can be that with you. Strength reverse, Page of Swords. There's that inner child again, in my opinion. It's like an inner child is here. You wake that up in them, or you give them that space to be that. And they know the hard work it takes. They would tell you that they know the hard work it has taken or that it will take, and they have every intent on working towards that goal or on planting those seeds with you. They would tell you that they would, I don't want to say give you everything, but they would be willing to give a lot. What they would tell you about you. Oh God, okay. King of Cups reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Seven of Cups. I think that they believe you're crazy. But I mean, hey, that's not veering them away apparently. So, something's got to give, but they feel like you're full of shit a lot. They feel like you're full of shit, and they would tell you that you're full of shit. Maybe they have told you this, but they would tell you that they don't like how you care so much about what other people think, or your need to be liked, or your need to pretend to be something that you're not in order to fit some kind of narrative or to fit a specific expected perspective that somebody or people have of you. They don't like it. They feel like you're living off in la la land as opposed to your true authentic nature. Or it's that this person could feel like you're very critical on yourself, and so you have a hard time showing up as yourself. So you feel like you have to manipulate, or you feel like you have to pretend to be this person, or you contort yourself to pretend to be something that they like or whatever. But I feel like they see right through that. Okay? And they would probably tell you that. What's that? Seven of Cups? The Four of Cups. They feel like you're a bit immature. They would tell you you're immature and that you lack gratitude for what's right in front of you, and that they would appreciate it if you practice more gratitude. Reverse this if you need to. There's nothing I can do about how the cards come out. It's like interesting because they look at you like you have so many options available to you. And I don't know if that's in love. I don't know if that's just like you have a lot of talents and like, and you're sitting on a winning lottery ticket. I mean, I don't know, but they feel like you just ignore it, or you dismiss it, or you don't take advantage of it when you should. Hierophant reversed, Queen of Cups reversed. Something's got to give emotionally. Um, if this is you, or just let's say in general. So I feel like this is built on a bit of a shaky foundation. I feel like you guys have some big differences, whether it's spiritual, religious, values, morals, whatever it is. It's built on a shaky foundation, and trust, in my opinion, needs to be rebuilt in some way. So I feel like you guys could be a match, but because I see the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, but they're both in reversed, which tells me that somebody needs to be more authentic about who they are and what they want, and needs to love with intention, so that way the feminine can trust, or something something something. Okay? Cuz the lack of trust is where the shaky foundation comes in. Okay? So that is what I have for you, Virgo. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to get your cards read during this live stream, then you can go ahead and book a super chat question over here at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Also, keep in mind that I am having a 30% off sale on my website at violettaalexis.com for all personal tarot readings. You just have to type the code in for full moon, which is all one word and all caps. So it's going to be full moon. Okay, if you guys want to take advantage of that. So let's go ahead and move on. What in the damn hell is that? All right, guys, give me 1 second, okay? All righty. Sending hugs back to you, Chris. Thank you so much for saying that. Okay, Libra, let's go ahead and take a look at what your person wants to say. What your person wants to say to you about themselves is the Death in reverse. What they want to say about you to you is the Judgment reverse. So double Scorpio energy here. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. The High Priestess, we have Pisces. The Six of Wands reversed. What's that? Six of Wands reversed? The Devil. Ooh. What's that? Death reversed? The Six of Swords reversed. They would likely tell you that they knew how this was going to go. They knew that it was going to be like this. They already knew. They knew that, listen, okay, reverse this if you need to. But they knew that it was going to either end like this, or they knew that you guys would not be able to move past something in your guys' past. This is somebody who would probably tell you that they feel like they have a lot of potential just on an individual basis, and they feel like you overlook that, or you overlook them, or you don't give them the recognition that they deserve or the appreciation. And I feel like this is probably somebody at their depth or at their core who genuinely cares about what you think. And I think that the double whammy of it is that I do believe that this person is highly confident in their potential and who they are as a person. But for some reason, your opinion very much matters, or your validation very much matters. And that's great. I mean, that's a high honor in my opinion, right? Especially if it's like this person doesn't care about what everybody else thinks, just about you and maybe a couple others, and that's great. But I think it really brings them down, or they may tell you if they had enough courage. Maybe they did tell you, I don't know. But that there's something that they really fixate on when it comes to having your acknowledgement specifically. And they would likely tell you that they feel they can't move on, or they feel like there's something very much about this person needing so much of your, I'm not saying like they're, licking the floor for your validation or anything, but there's something about what you think about this person that really matters to them. Because I feel like when we're attracted to somebody, subconsciously, we're attracted to that person because we feel like they can fix something within us. That's my opinion. And I think it's more of a subconscious thing. We don't even realize that we're doing it. right? And so for me, I tend to really gravitate to people that give me a lot of attention, because I have an abandonment wound, things like that. So it may be something like that. I hate to say it, but it's really weird because this person seems so complex in the way where I don't want to say they know how great they are, but they know what they're capable of. Yet there's still, oddly enough, this weird need for that external pat on the back. And I think that we all need validation in some way. I mean, it's ridiculous to sit up here and be like, "Oh, that's so crazy. You would ever need external validation." That's ridiculous, right? Everybody needs that. But so I wanted to pull cards. I already pulled them here. What this person would say to you about you if they got the chance or if they had the courage. The Judgment reverse, the Chariot, the Magician reverse. What's that Magician reversed? The Nine of Swords. What's that Judgment reversed? The Celestial Weaver. This person feels like they can understand why you're so confident or courageous in your pursuit sometimes. um This is somebody who feels like you have a lot of willpower, or they would tell you that they feel like you have a lot of potential because you have a lot of willpower or because you have a lot of control. But I also think that that's where they believe that you falter also. So, what I mean by that is the Judgment in reverse can sometimes be somebody who dismisses God's call, so to speak, or their higher calling, or they're not willing to take accountability for the things that they need to change, or they're not even willing to wield their own power because of fear or because of fear of consequences of something, right? So, like for instance, if we can make this super simple, it could be like, oh, well, I don't want to go for that promotion because I know what that would entail. I would have to be more responsible or I'd have to wake up at this time, right? So if we can think about in simplistic terms, it can be like that. So this person feels like you could have it if you wanted to, but you choose to play small or you choose to play stupid or you know what I'm saying? And they feel like that comes from an insecurity. So instead of just being owning up to something, they feel like you rather like weasel your way through it, as opposed to just being like, "You know what? I did this," or, "You know what? I really want this, so I'm willing to take the responsibility," or whatever it is, and they don't understand because they feel like you have courage, but it's a lot of idiotic courage. Just makes sense. Not that that's true. But they look at you like somebody who has a lot of self-doubt, and so you have to kind of manipulate your way around things because you fear what would happen if you were to claim that power, if you were to take accountability, or if you were to really rein that in. That's deep. Your advice, the world reversed and the wheel of fortune reversed. Okay. Well, this is telling you that you can try to hold on to the wheel as much as you can and try to turn it in your favor, but it's just going to turn regardless. And there's no power that you, me, or anybody else has except for God in that matter. And with the world in reverse, it's saying, hey, clean up on aisle 5. You need to clean this shit up before you can move on. And I don't know what that is. Okay. So the world is Saturnian, it's Saturn. It's about taking responsibility. So that's kind of what's happening here. Okay. So thanks a lot, Libra. Please reverse it if you need to. I really appreciate it. I do hope that you'll like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get your cards read on this live, then you can head on over to hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis and you can book a super chat question with me. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to Scorpio. What's up, meow? No, I'm a Virgo. My South Node is in Libra. It's who I was. But I am Virgo on the cusp of Libra. I know some astrologers don't think that that matters, but I disagree. All right, Scorpio, how you doing? Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see what your person wants to say to you. Scorpio, what your person wants to say to you about themselves is the Five of Cups reversed. What they want to say to you about you is the Justice. Okay. Five of Cups reversed, Eight of Swords reversed, and the Knight of Wands reversed. What's the Knight of Wands reversed? What's the Five of Cups reversed? Ten of Cups. Okay, well, this person would tell you that they feel like the two of you need to either forgive and forget or forgive each other, or maybe they need forgiveness, maybe you do, whatever it is, but they're either willing to ask for forgiveness or they're willing to give you forgiveness. Basically letting bygones be bygones. Why? Because of the Ten of Cups. Because they want a relationship with you, they would tell you that you make them very happy. I feel like in turn they want to make you happy, but they don't want to be stuck in that past shit anymore. Okay. Um, the Knight of Wands reversed, it can represent a few things. It can represent a lack of confidence. It can represent somebody who's a little inconsistent, okay? With the I like that the Ten of Wands is clarifying it, because they would probably tell you that they know that sometimes they can be irresponsible. And it's probably when they take a step back for a minute and think about things is when they will take responsibility for some level of inconsistency or immaturity or needing to seek attention in some kind of way or being a pompous dick, right? The Knight of Wands is Sagittarius. So imagine like a belligerent Sagittarius man, right? That's kind of like think of like Andrew Tate, right? Like right. So, they may tell you that they can be that way sometimes, but they take full responsibility for that. And I think they just want to make you happy with the Ten of Cups. And I think that if they had courage, they would probably tell you that. Maybe they have. I don't know. But there's something that's very fulfilling about this connection, about this dynamic, whatever. There's something fulfilling about it for them. You got two tens here. I truly believe that they wanna get unstuck out of some kind of hamster wheel that they've been on, like an inconsistent hamster wheel. Wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. I feel like they're wanting to end that. They're wanting to sever some level of negative behavior that they really don't admire in themselves. Look at that. Phoenix. That's you. I wanted to get an extra one for that Eight of Swords reverse. There it is. I mean, I think that this person is telling you that they're willing to change. They're willing to go through a huge transformation, especially mentally. Because there's something about their mindset that they're very well aware it needs to change or that they're attempting to change. I don't feel like this is a bad person. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're a total piece of crap. I mean, I have no idea. I don't know this person, but it seems like they have the right idea. So what they would say to you about you is the Justice, the Four of Swords reversed, the Four of Pentacles reversed. Wow. What's that Justice about? The Two of Swords. They feel like you want peace. They feel like you want peace. And they may feel like a decision that you made or haven't made is totally justified. They would also say that they feel like you're a good person or somebody who is fair in your judgments for most of the time. And they look at you like somebody who does want peace. And so you act or you make decisions through that. You make decisions through the desire for peace. Because with that Four of Swords in reverse and the Four of Pentacles in reverse, they may feel like you've been through a lot or you've been through a lot of healing. and they likely admire you for your ability to still remain a good person despite the stuff that you've been through. You're still willing to take chances. Four of Pentacles in reverse. You know, you're still willing to feel. Four of Swords reversed, right? Because the Four of Swords in the upright can sometimes represent somebody who's indifferent to something. Not all the time, okay, it depends. But the Four of Swords in reverse can be an awareness of a feeling, and then a judgment based on that feeling, something that's mature. We're healing in that direction. We're healing with intent. And so I feel like this person admires this about you. Ah, the Hangman. I mean, I wanted to pull one more because, you know, I'm a Virgo, so I'm gonna look for the bad stuff. Okay. I'm looking for the mistake. I'm looking for the problem, but I'm not finding. I would say the worst thing here is probably the Knight of Wands reversed. And even then, I mean, so I don't really think that this person has too many bad things to say, especially about you. I mean, they feel like you get it. This is somebody who feels like you're willing to let go, let bygones be bygones. They feel like the decisions that you've made thus far, for the most part, are justified. They feel like you're also willing to take chances, even if that's a sacrifice to yourself. And they feel like you're not stubborn in your perspective, like you're willing to welcome other perspectives. Okay. So Queen of Swords, excuse me, Two of Cups reverse, Queen of Swords reverse for somebody's advice. Okay, well, this is for somebody, all right? The Queen of Swords in reverse can show up when we're not able to take the wisdom and the lessons and apply them in a strategic and logical way towards whatever it may be. So whether it's relationships, business, etc., the Queen of Swords in reverse can absolutely lose her mind and cut you down with every word until you're in the fetal position at 2 a.m., crying by yourself with a bottle of Jack Daniels in your right hand and, you know, lotion in your other. I mean, you know, she will make you cry, okay? She's terrible. And so now it doesn't have to be that dramatic, but it may be asking someone to be a bit more empathetic or more understanding, or also saying if somebody here is feeling misunderstood, going about it by cutting someone down or slicing somebody open with their words is not going to lead to anything progressive. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to get your cards read live during the stream, then you can go ahead and book a super chat question over here at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. What's up, underdog? How you doing? Righty. All right, let's see here. We have Deianira. What is Chad Libra's real intentions with me, Pisces? Okay, let me see. Ten of Swords. The Empress. The Emperor. What's that, Ten of Swords? Ten of Swords being clarified by the Three of Pentacles in reverse with the Emperor and the Empress. I mean, wow. There's an intent to end something else. It could be a third party with that Three of Pentacles in reverse, but it's essentially what is causing two people to not be able to get on the same page in some way. So where we're having a disagreement, where we're having an argument, whatever it is, this is somebody who's trying to end whatever is causing that. Now, the Empress and the Emperor here are two divine counterparts. The Empress is all of the queens combined. She's the divine feminine. The Emperor is all of the kings combined. He's the divine masculine. So there may be this energy of him feeling like you guys, not to be corny, but belong together in some way, or he may feel like you guys are very well suited for one another. Now, I will say that if he's like not trying to be with you, or there's really no contact, or you feel like he's off frolicking along, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, Dayanira, then I would probably say that it could be an ending between the two of you. But I don't know your personal story. Okay. So I kind of want to see. Oh, wow. The 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Girl, I feel like you sometimes get the best cards between you and this Chad person. So this can be somebody who has an intent to commit, like to go all the way, to keep things stable between the two of you. You know, this is a very committal energy. It's a very future focused energy. So let's see what your advice is. The Hermit, the Three of Wands. Didn't you get the Hermit last time? And the Tower. So something as you know it is not what it is anymore. Something has to be let go of. Something that you're waiting on, it's never going to be the same. Something is going to change. And what I want to say is it's probably going to change for the better. But it's asking you to take some time alone, to take some time apart, to take some time with yourself, to be able to understand yourself better. And it may also be trying to teach you, or spirit is trying to teach you, that something that you may be trying to find outside of yourself, you already have. And you need to be brave in discovering whatever that is, because something about you has to be let go of. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a lack of boundaries. I don't know if it's bad habits. I don't know. But it's so that something can be rebuilt. Okay. Thank you so much, Daynira. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great one. And thanks again. Christina, hey, beautiful. Any general messages that you can provide that spirit has for me right now? Sure, let's see. Page of Pentacles and the Six of Cups in reverse. It may be telling you, or spirit may be telling you, that it's time to put your big girl pants. It's time to kind of put your big girl pants on and start that thing. Start the YouTube channel, start the business, start that health regimen, right? Because Pentacle energy isn't necessarily just about money in the material realm. It's about our bodies. It's about our health. It's about taking care of ourselves physically. So it can be about that. So if there's something, whether it is like an old habit that you developed in childhood, maybe you're a procrastinator, I don't know, but it's really time for you to kind of look a little bit deeper and not put off that thing that you're really needing to create, okay? The Queen of Wands reversed with the star. So this tells me that you may be having some level of fear surrounding your future, or maybe surrounding some kind of pursuits, surrounding something that you're really hoping for. But it's telling you that you have it. You just have to simply get out of your own way. You're going to have to take the lead in regards to something that you're attempting to pursue. And it's telling you to not allow insecurities or jealousies or whatever mood you're in to veer you from that path, okay? So start the thing. Don't sit around and wait around. Don't care too much about it needing to be perfect, or being too afraid to speak out, or being too afraid to take the lead. Like, you need to do whatever that thing is, because it's going to end up being bigger than you thought it was, or better. Thank you so much, Christine. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a good one. Then we have Wander Tarot. What just happened with Madison? The dynamic changed so fast, and all he said was he felt I was looking for something different, but he was the one wanting to meet up faster than I planned to. Okay. Um, let me see. What's the Eight of Wands? Ooh, the Page of Wands reversed with the Eight of Wands made me feel like something that was talked about or something that you said may have made him kind of revert back into himself. The Page of Wands in reverse can show up. I mean, you read tarot, so you know, but Page of Wands in reverse can sometimes show up when we're like, I don't know if I can do this. Why? Because we're lacking confidence. And then I asked what the Eight of Wands was about, and I got the Eight of Pentacles. Well, the Eight of Pentacles can represent a lot of things, but mostly it can represent when there's a gallant effort that needs to be put in, but it's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take a separation from our distractions. It's going to take meeting a standard. So he may feel like he was not ready to meet some kind of standard that you either directly communicated or that he assumed based around the conversation that you guys were having. Ace of Cups. So I wanted to get some advice. So I got the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is like, just be open, be open. You don't have to try to force anything or control anything. You just can show up as you and being vulnerably you. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Wander. Thank you so much. I hope that, I was going to say, I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, you can hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Like, I'm literally already doing super chat questions. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Wander. All right, Wander times 2. Michael seems to be more present and now showing up as I am starting to be open to other connections. I don't really want to entertain others if he's wanting this. Where is he at emotionally and physically with me at this time? All right, let me see emotionally. Eight of Cups, the World. It seems like he's walking away from something that he was fantasizing about that he may um have realized was just a fantasy or a delusion in some way, and he's wanting to maybe take more responsibility or have some level of closure so a new opportunity can be provided, or he can provide that new opportunity between the both of you. So let's see physically. Four of Swords reversed and the Hermit. I think he's kind of in like a Dark Night of the Soul phase a little bit. Okay. It seems like he's more so in his head. I mean, the Four of Swords, that's a lot of mental energy. It's swords, the Hermit, Virgo, Mercury, mental energy. So he's more in his head than he is in his body. And I don't know if that's because he just walked away from something that he thought ended up realizing was an illusion that was like more of a fantasy for him, or because it seems like he is either healing from something physically or he's healing from something mentally that is affecting him physically. Okay. Thanks a lot, Wander. I appreciate you, girl. All right, we're moving on to Zaza. Hey V, will I see Matt again? And what did he think of our first encounter? All right, let's see what he thinks of your first encounter first. The Lovers. Okay, well, the Four of Wands reversed. Will they see each other again? Whoops. Oh. There's a bit of a insecurity happening here. Because we have the Lovers, which is great. Okay. So the Lovers tells me that this is somebody who feels like it really went really well, as in he likely felt a lot of chemistry. It may have been that he wanted to like go home and sit and eat a bunch of ice cream and Netflix on the couch with that 401s in reverse. Like he may not have wanted to really be out and about. But if it's not that, then he could feel a very strong connection or very strong chemistry with you. But the 401s in reverse can represent somebody not really being sure if they want to welcome that just yet, or not being sure if that kind of connection is welcomed by you. But I mean, you really, when it comes to a love reading, baby, you really can't trump the Lovers. You know what I'm saying? Will you hear from him again? Well, that's going to depend. The King of Swords in reverse with the Queen of Wands. In this scenario, I feel like you're the Queen of Wands. I feel like he's the King of Swords reversed. So there can be some he may not be thinking logically at this time, or he may not really know. And it can be a bit of an intimidation. When we're seeing the Queen of Wands, this is the woman that is probably more intimidating to most men, okay? It's Aries energy. She's very much a leader. She doesn't care what anybody thinks. She's not looking for validation from many people. She's kind of doing her own thing. She's very sexy. She's very attractive. So it can be intimidating to him. So are you going to hear from him again? It's whether or not he's willing to welcome that kind of chemistry into his life, and whether or not he's willing to find the confidence in himself to not be so intimidated by what you have to offer. Okay. Thank you so much, Zaza. Haruka. Hi, I'm a Virgo sun, Libra moon. Boyfriend is Aries sun, Cancer moon. I'm moving with my boyfriend in 1 or 2 years, maybe 3. I want to know how life is going to be with him. We plan to live in apartments, then buy a house, but I want to know if we're going to have struggles or everything is going to be easy. Are we going to be happy? Thanks. Let me see. Well, keep in mind, everybody has struggles, okay? Everybody's going to have a struggle, but let's see. 2 of Pentacles reversed. The 3 of Pentacles. I feel like you guys would probably have issues with making practical decisions surrounding finances, or being able to focus on budgeting, or trying not to spend it all in one place kind of thing. The positive is that you guys are willing to learn, or you guys will be willing to learn from one another and work together in order to make progress towards your financial goals, okay? The Queen of Cups reversed, the Strength reversed. I feel like you're this Queen of Cups reverse, okay? The Strength reverse. There can not be a whole lot of confidence in regards to trust between the two of you, okay? And I'm not really sure why that is. It's just a 4-card reading, but there may be a lack of trust between the two of you. And it may be because maybe he has an ego, or he gives into his weaknesses in some way, okay? That can sometimes be the Strength reversed. So it seems like you guys are willing to learn from one another and work with each other towards a common financial goal. But when it comes to emotional trust, the foundation of the relationship, it might be a little spotty because of somebody else's pride, ego, and or weaknesses. Okay. Thanks a lot, Haruka. I hope I said that right. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Okay. Angel. Hi, my name is Angel. There is an event upcoming in my life that I'm undecided about. Are my expectations set too high on the outcome? I'm stuck between going forward or seeking different alternatives for the outcome I desire. Thank you. Okay. Well, let's see what the outcome is going to be, and then we'll see if your expectations. 8 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, okay, and the Knight of Swords. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I think the 8 of Pentacles to the 9 of Pentacles is a great little what is it called? Oh my God, what is it called? String of events, I guess you could say. Because if we're going from the 8 of Pentacles to the 9, it tells me that there's progress. So the 8 of Pentacles is something meeting standard. The effort is being put in, the work is being done, and we're making progress because we're getting to the 9. So now we're getting to the 9 of Pentacles, which means that because of the work that has been done, or because a standard has been met, now we can kind of relax a little bit more. And with the Knight of Swords, there may be a lot of impulsive communication, not necessarily in a bad way, but let me clarify. The Knight of Cups reversed. It seems like with whatever the scenario is, we're not really taking action based around our emotions, but more so from a practical, logical standpoint. If this is about like a relationship or something like that, or something to do with the relationship, then there can be questions that we have about why somebody's in a mood. So maybe you go to the event and there's a discussion or a conversation about somebody's mood or jealousy or something like that. But mostly it just makes me feel like it's more so about making logical decisions and taking practical and logical action toward whatever this is. So there's progress and it looks positive. Six of Swords reversed and the Three of Wands. It feels like there may be some things brought up from the past, or there may be something that's needing to be re-examined or reconfigured or fixed in some kind of way. But with the Three of Wands, once again, it's telling me that progress is being made. It feels like we have the support, or we're finally receiving something that we feel like we wanted or that we worked for. Okay. Your advice is the King of Cups, the Six of Cups, wow, and the Death reversed. So for some reason, it's telling you that there's a level of emotional maturity that's really going to be needed here, especially around like being kind or being able to offer a hand in some way, or offering somebody a, I don't know if it's like a family reunion, offering a shoulder to cry on maybe, or just being kind, just being open, just being genuine. With the Death in reverse, it may be saying that something is needing to change in regards to a relationship in your life at this event, or something is needing to change, or let me see. I'm just going to pull an extra one. The Moon reversed. It may be telling you that at this event, when something needs to end or something needs to change, to not fear asserting that, or not fear ending it, or walking away from a table, or walking away from a person that you don't necessarily want to. Whatever it is, it's telling you to handle everything with maturity. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Angel. I really appreciate that. We have Abigail. What's my best next moves to manifest what I want? In love, of course. My person's going through a really hard time and has gone total hermit. How can I best support him? And I guess, will things be okay? All right, let me see. How can you best support him? The Emperor. The Seven of Cups in reverse. So I don't think this is a time to like, I don't want to say not to coddle somebody. Like, I don't know what this person is going through, okay? But the Hermit, if this is your advice, this is about putting your feelings to the side about something and making realistic decisions that are grounded in reality, and not like, woo woo, like, you know what I mean? So this is about making honest to God decisions, putting your feelings to the side, understanding that there are bigger things taking place, and you're going to need to take action and initiative on whatever those things are. So it's asking you to kind of take the lead in a situation. Okay. So let's see how things are going to turn out. The King of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. I feel like things are going to turn out just fine. I feel like there's going to be either some money coming in regards to your partner with that King of Pentacles. You guys may end up going on a trip, or there's a lot of communication around the commitment that you guys have to one another, or around money and finances, things like that. So I think it's really positive, you know? So yeah, you can expect some movement forward. Thanks a lot, Abigail. Kelly Ann Moss. Hi, I would like to know if my husband and I are going to reconcile. Let me see. Let me see the next 3 months in regards to a reconciliation. Judgment, yes. 10 of Cups, yes. Yes, you will. Congrats. Judgment is when there's a reckoning. Judgment is when we're bringing up something that had once died, so to speak, okay? And the 10 of Cups is big, happy family, basically, right? Within reason. And so there's some kind of a level of emotional fulfillment that is being brought back between the both of you. Let's get your advice for this. Five of Wands, King of Wands reversed. Like, if this is somebody who has ego, pride issues, whatever it is, it's telling you that while you may be tempted to argue about something, it may be telling you that nothing is really going to get resolved in that way. Not saying that you're an argumentative person or anything like that, but if you know that this person's ego is getting triggered, honestly, sometimes the best weapon is truly just silence. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you can't assert your boundaries or anything like that. But when you feel like things are getting out of hand, I wouldn't even fight it. Don't pick up your Don't pick up your 5 of Wands stick and start, beating things around. It's just totally unnecessary, okay? So that might just be like a little tiny tidbit word of advice for you, all right? Thanks a lot, Kelly. I really appreciate you. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a wonderful night. Thank you guys so, so much. Lori, thank you for being an awesome mod. Thank you to everybody that showed up tonight, anybody who liked or shared or got a super chat question. Have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you guys later.